Welcome to Whatever Happened to Pizza at McDonald's, the investigative journalism program, or IJP, where I ask the question, Whatever happened to the pizza at McDonald's? A proud part of the Panoply Network, a wholly owned subsidiary of Pizzaply Media. I'm your host, Brian Thompson, investigative journalist. As an unbiased reporter, it is not my place to quote-unquote get political. People listen to my program for dispassionate facts, not opinion. Yes, it is true that in addition to being a journalist, I am also an activist, particularly when it comes to the matter of returning McDonald's pizza to the menu. But all of my subjective statements are always clearly delineated. When I state an opinion, I always do so in a slightly higher-pitched voice. But while I will not share my political opinions, I do admit to following politics with some interest. Specifically, I am intrigued by the process of polling. Some have called pollsters modern-day fortune tellers, but I will not do so for fear a religious fanatic might hunt one down and drown them in a river. Still, the comparison is somewhat apt. Through the process of polling, the future can be somewhat predicted to either a very high or extremely low degree of accuracy. For example, polling before the recent Republican presidential caucus and primary in Iowa and New Hampshire, respectively, showed the majority of likely voters choosing to choose former President Donald Trump as their preferred nominee. This was somewhat shocking and unbelievable to many pundits, legal experts, and average citizens, considering the 100% unbiased and fact-based reality that by attempting to illegally overturn a Democratic election, Mr. Trump should not be allowed to be a presidential nominee and instead should be executed. But despite this, the polling proved to be accurate. Mr. Trump handily won both of these contests, and as of the publication of this episode of Whatever Happened to Pizza at McDonald's, his head is still more or less attached to his neck. But it is not just their power of prognostication that makes polling results useful. In fact, I would argue that polls should be seen not so much as augurs for the future, but as revelations of present reality that might not otherwise be evident. They give us a glimpse of public opinion right now, and we may use this information to, yes, more accurately predict what people might think or do at a later date, but also to influence the way the powers that be allocate their massive resources in the present. Remaining within the world of politics, if polling reveals that the people of any given primary state do not care and will never care about a politician, such as, for example, Dean Phillips, then wealthy donors who bankroll the purchasing of elections might think twice about writing Mr. Phillips a check. Now, let us metaphorically step outside the figurative realm of politics and back into the symbolic sphere of my own area of expertise, namely McDonald's pizza matters, such as whatever happened to it, etc. If one were to poll average citizens and thereby determine that a plurality of them do indeed wish pizza would return to the McDonald's menu, then the McDonald's Corporation would be forced to use this information in a similar way to those who operate within the world of politics. Not only would they be pressured to allocate their resources toward pizza's return, rather than paying drug-addicted internet artists millions of dollars to design hideous figurines for limited-edition, adult-targeted Happy Meals, but they would also be able to accurately predict that if public demand for pizza remains high, and they continue not to address this demand in any meaningful way, then they will significantly increase their chances of falling victim to a violent revolt. Thankfully, since I am both the CEO and sole employee of Pizzaply Media, my company has a nimble enough corporate structure that it is quite simple to open new lines of business. As such, I have mailed the paperwork necessary to incorporate a new business I am calling Panoply Polling. One problem: the key to the success and accuracy of any poll is its rigorous scientific method. namely, calling people on the telephone and speaking with those bored, confused, or deranged enough not to immediately hang up. But since the white pages seem to have gone out of print, I do not have access to a database of people's telephone numbers. However, I am fairly sure I know how to obtain some.
Welcome to T-Mobile, the uncarrier sales line. Hi, thank you for calling T-Mobile. This is Edgar. How may I help you today?
Hello, Edgar. My name is Brian Thompson. I'm with a company called Panoply Polling. It's a wholly owned subsidiary of Pizzaply Polling. I was just calling because I was wondering if I could receive all of the telephone numbers of every T-Mobile customer for polling purposes.
All right, so if I got it correctly, you're calling because you have concern regarding a phone number, phone call history of which you would like to know if you can retrieve.
Far be it from me to criticize your interpretation, but I don't believe that's quite correct. Like I said, my name is Brian Thompson. I'm with a company called Panoply Polling. It's a wholly owned subsidiary of Pizzaply Polling. And I would just like to receive every telephone number of every T-Mobile customer so that I might call them for polling purposes. It's strictly for polling purposes. It's nothing personal. No harassment or solicitation or anything like that.
All right, I totally understand that. And what is the name of the company again?
Panoply Polling. That's P as in panoply, A as in anoply, N as in noply.
Panapl.
Oh, I'm sorry. I should have continued. O as in Oli, L as in Lee, and then it ends in a Y.
Panoply, correct?
Panoply. P as in panoply, A as in anoply.
Panoply.
Did you say Y? Well, because I'm looking for some telephone numbers that I can call to poll people. That's why.
May I have the phone number associated to the account so that we can pull up first? Do you have that?
I do not have a T-Mobile account.
Okay, so here's the thing. For any particular phone number that you would like to be able to see on your, you're using a phone, right?
I am, in fact, talking to you on a telephone. Well, it's really tantamount to a pocket computer, but yes, using the telephone.
So what you have to do is to go to the, if you can see your phone, just click the icon for the phone itself. And once you click that, it will appear all of the phone numbers that you have tried to dial or you have received on your phone itself.
Okay, well, I'm looking at my previous calls here, and this is all in order. I could just call you, and then McDonald's corporate, a few McDonald's restaurants, another call to McDonald's corporate, a couple of McDonald's restaurants. All of that is in order, but that's not actually what I'm asking for. I would just like to receive the telephone numbers of every customer of T-Mobile so that I might call them and ask them some questions for polling purposes. Specifically, I'm conducting a poll on people's feelings about McDonald's pizza, their opinions about whatever happened to it, why it was discontinued from the menu, whether or not they remember it, and if they would purchase it were it to return to the menu. So in order to call these people, I'm going to need their telephone numbers. So if you could just, I could just accept those via email. I also have quite a few pieces of paper handy if you wanted to just read them out.
We are not allowed to, disclose any particular phone number that is not that you don't have an account, especially from T-Mobile.
Okay.
We are not allowed to disclose any information.
Oh, okay. I think I understand. So if I started a T-Mobile account, then you would be able to send me the phone numbers of every other T-Mobile member?
Yeah, well, definitely, once you have the account from us and you have fully authenticated the account and whatever information that you would like to know on the account itself, then we are allowed to provide it to you. That is your right.
Okay. Perfect. Well, I guess I might just switch over to T-Mobile then. I'm currently with a network called Wawa Mobile. It's sold exclusively in Wawa convenience stores. It's $15 a month for 3 texts per month, 30 minutes of telephone call, 4 megs of data.
Yeah.
Do you have anything that can compete with that plan?
Here's a thing. since you don't have yet an account from us, what I can do is to connect you over to our activation department.
Okay.
So would you like me now to connect you over to our activation department?
Oh,
Or
that
you
would
are going to check first?
that would be wonderful. Thank you.
Plan. All right, so kindly stay on the line.
Will do.
Welcome to T-Mobile. It's a great day here at T-Mobile. You're speaking with your virtual retail expert, Crystal. But who do I have the pleasure of speaking with today?
Hello, my name is Brian Thompson.
Hey, Mr. Brian, how you doing?
I'm doing well. When you say you're a virtual assistant, does that mean you're not a real person? Are you an artificial intelligence chatbot or something like that?
No, sir. I'm actually a real person. I just work in the virtual retail area.
Oh, okay.
Where if you were to be in the store, I do the same thing that the store has the ability to do over the phone.
Oh, okay.
Like a person to ask that question.
Oh, really? Well, I guess it's a common question.
Yeah.
Well, so many times you call companies and you're actually not speaking with a human being. You're speaking with a amoral, soulless robot. And so I just like to make sure. I do enjoy speaking with robots, but just for my own personal edification. But anyway, that is neither here nor there. I'm calling because I work for a polling company called Panoply Polling, a wholly owned subsidiary of Pizzaply Polling. I was speaking with one of your associates, a gentleman named Edgar. I believe he was in the sales department. He said that if I started a T-Mobile account, I would be able to have access to the telephone numbers of every T-Mobile customer for polling purposes. So I guess I was just looking to start a T-Mobile account so that I can get everybody else's phone number and call them for polling.
I don't think that works that way, love. So that may have been some misinformation. But let me double check. Are you making a business account or were you just doing a personal account?
Well, this would just be a personal account. Paperwork is still in the mail as far as incorporating Panoply Polling.
Gotcha. Okay. Bear with me one moment, place you on a brief hold while I do some research for that information, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. All right. Thank you so much for patiently holding. So I just want to make sure I'm getting the right information and got a clear understanding. You're okay with starting services, but you're looking to start services for yourself to basically get other T-Mobile customers' information, or were you looking to get other polling customers' information?
Well, so I am interested in starting services if that means that I will have access to the telephone numbers of every other T-Mobile customer. If I don't have to start service to do that, I would prefer not to because I'm quite happy with my Wawa mobile cellular plan.
Gotcha. So, yeah, we don't offer other customers information. Like, you sign up for us, you covering your privacy. We definitely don't want to just give out other customers information for soliciting. That's not feasible with our plans.
Okay. I guess that makes some amount of sense. It's just it's very frustrating because there used to be something called the White Pages. It was a book that was delivered to people's houses, and it had everybody's phone numbers in it. But I guess there's some sort of a...
Yeah, I remember back then. They no longer do the White Pages or any type of everything that's basically Googled.
Oh, so
in life of technology.
I haven't even thought of doing that. You think I should just Google something along the lines of everyone's phone number or something like that?
You could. I know, other places. There's companies that collect. You got to pay for it though. It's not free. I know. I've worked for jobs where you call blind calling people's homes, offering things of that nature.
Okay. Well, I guess I do have a couple of dollars in my slush fund. But do you mind if I just ask you one polling question very quickly now that I have a person on the phone, a real person and not a robot?
Sure.
This poll is about McDonald's and McDonald's menu items that have been discontinued, specifically the McDonald's pizza. Just one question. Do you remember when McDonald's served pizza?
I don't even eat McDonald's, love.
Oh, really? Just you've never driven by and seen advertisement for pizza in the window or anything like that?
No.
Okay. Well, that is good data. Thank you very much for your help.
No problem. You have a good one.
You too. Do you know what happened to pizza at McDonald's? Do you remember it? Please send all correspondence to pizza@mcdonalds@gmail.com. To support the show, please join my Patreon at patreon.com/pizza@mcd's for exclusive benefits. And for more information, including links to social media, merchandise opportunities, etc., visit pizza@mcdonalds.com. Thank you to my invaluable Patreon producers: Bipolar Biped, Grant Bacon, Jacob Ford, Joe Kajik, Kimberly King, Kyle Turok, Pam Gabriel, Polly Egan, Thomas Young, Trisha Yates, Will, Adam Crump, Andrew Duffy, Andrew Ahmed Rubin, Billy Jean, Brad Allen Thompson, Creighton Barrow, Dan Dreyer, Gerald Lewis, Jeffrey Francis Silva, Jay Poop, Calvin Thomas, Laurel Paul, Opus Moreski, Paul Fu, and Ryan Guggenmoss. I'm Brian Thompson, investigative journalist.